When a fire occurs inside a confined area, it will push upward until it meets the ceiling. The ceiling interrupts the natural process of heat rising and redirects the heat and smoke outward. Because the fire is still adding energy, it gains speed as it travels across the ceiling to the walls.
Fire is fire. It's scientific. It's going to go straight up a wall. It's going to bank across the ceiling until it gets contained or find some place to vent. That's what fire is going to do.
Because the fire is confined by the walls, it will change direction once again, downward to the floor, lighting combustibles along its path.
The fire is going to grow. It's going to find the fuel. The fuel is going to be all the furniture. Everything in a room nowadays is plastic. The plastics burn a lot faster, a lot hotter than the older materials of wood and natural products like that.
Because the smoke and gases that are generated by the burning process are flammable, fires that start in a confined area, such as a building, go through an additional phase called flashover.
The upper part of the ceiling becomes so superheated, it's looking for more fuel and it's looking for oxygen. And it's actually burning the carbon within the smoke.
The potential for flashover will present certain characteristics in the smoke.
You will see pushing angry smoke that's rolling out of windows that's pressurized. That's indicative of a flashover. Well, it's dangerous for us for a lot of reasons. Number one, when we enter into a structure, if we don't pull the ceiling immediately, we don't know what's over our head. And typically what happens is we over-penetrate into the structure. Now we have free burning fire over our head, it's going to flash, and we're too far into the structure to now, when it does flash, it's going to absolutely fire is going to be everywhere around us. And if we can't move 7 feet in a couple seconds, then we're going to perish.
The Pyrolance is a firefighting system that safely and quickly cools and contains fires. Utilizing high-pressure water, the Pyrolance pierces structures and then blankets the thermal layers inside with a fog of atomized water. Because the Pyrolance introduces its fine mist of water through a small opening, a rapid reduction in temperature occurs without introducing large amounts of oxygen. This greatly reduces the likelihood of flashover or backdraft. Firefighters can manage the thermal layer while remaining outside in a safe, shielded, offensive position. Once the structure's interior is cooled, the entry team can access the building without exposure to high heat conditions. This allows the team to search the building more rapidly and to extinguish the fire more quickly. The Pyrolance is the best tool for handling the gaseous phase of the fire. It controls the thermal layer from a safe location to confine the fire and to greatly enhance the entry firefighter's safety. The result is a rapid reduction in temperature without the hazards of scalding steam. The Pyrolance quickly pierces most structural materials, including solid wood, reinforced concrete, steel, and roofing materials, with a unique no-spark cutting technique that delivers high-pressure water that carries a proprietary PyroShot aggregate at speeds up to 400 miles an hour. The result is a quick punch through most any building component. Once the hole is created, the Pyrolance continues to flow a fine mist of water into the upper thermal layers of the fire room.
You still had some fire. It doesn't take away the fire completely, but what it does is it was like it knocked it down enough where it made it safer for firefighters to enter in, made it cooler so you're not going into as hot of an environment, and since it knocks it down so you don't have to spend a whole lot of time in there knocking it down before you can attack it. It makes it easier for the firefighters to actually get the job done.
Because the water is injected in such a fine mist, the temperature inside can drop by as much as 1,000 degrees in a matter of seconds. Yet there is no scalding steam you would expect if using a conventional nozzle. This rapid cooling contains the fire and can even stop a flashover or backdraft in its tracks, making it much safer for everyone involved.
Before, I was in there building the fire and everything, and I had one of my backup coats on. I actually got too close to it. I actually had some reflectors scorched. The heat was pretty high in there and everything, and I was pleasantly surprised when I went back in. I mean, the conditions were very comfortable, and I was really amazed.
The Pyrolance system consists of a high-pressure pump, a water supply, an abrasive supply, a hose, and a handheld lance. The guide at the tip of the lance allows for precise control of the tip. During piercing operations, high-velocity water carries abrasive aggregate through the line. This allows the Pyrolance to pierce the toughest building materials easily. The Pyrolance system is capable of penetrating structural concrete with a wall thickness of 1 inch in less than 1 minute, structural steel with a wall thickness of 1/4 inch in less than 15 seconds, structural steel with a wall thickness of 1 inch in 56 seconds, and double-faced brick wall stretcher bond in approximately 30 seconds. Once the opening is made, a second trigger allows the operator to switch to plain water, stopping the flow of abrasive and turning the Pyrolance into a confinement tool that injects a high-pressure fog stream directly into the thermal layer, while the operator remains in a safe position outside. Because the water droplets in the mist are the ideal size for heat absorption and are moving so rapidly, the small amount of water delivered by the Pyrolance packs a big punch. The Pyrolance is specifically designed to confine the fire, taking the heat out of the thermal layers in seconds and allowing the entry team to complete extinguishment with conventional fire hoses and nozzles. The Pyrolance offers a range of unique advantages. The Pyrolance is an offensive firefighting tool. The Pyrolance allows firefighters to reduce fire spread from a safe position outside without the need of a large opening that can help intensify the fire. The Pyrolance reduces flashover and backdraft risk. The Pyrolance complements existing fire attack techniques and greatly increases fireground safety and effectiveness. The Pyrolance allows vertical roof operations to be conducted safely from an aerial device. The Pyrolance has multiple uses for the demands you face daily. Add the Pyrolance to your firefighting arsenal and drastically improve your firefighting potential.
If we can put water on the fire as soon as we get there, we're going to save the structure, we're going to save the citizens that are the patients that are in the house.
The Pyrolance product line includes a standalone diesel unit, the D2000, and a truck-mounted PTO option, the TR2000. Both the Pyrolance D2000 and TR2000 are capable of flowing 16 gallons per minute at 4,400 psi. The D2000 is powered by a 50 horsepower Deutz diesel air-cooled engine. The Pyrolance TR2000 can be customized with either a direct or hydraulic PTO unit powered via the truck transmission. The Lance also comes in 2 options: a wireless line-of-sight transmitter with a typical distance of 300 feet, or the upgraded hardwired option, allowing unrestricted operation of the Lance in any location without line-of-sight restrictions. Typical hose lengths range between 200 and 300 feet of half-inch ultra-high-pressure wire-braided hose with a 4-to-1 safety factor. The Pyrolance offers never-before-available firefighting capabilities. This next-generation fireground tool bolsters traditional fire attack strategies and gives today's firefighters a smarter, safer way to control dangerous fire conditions from defensive positions. By rapidly cooling explosive fire gases with its high-pressure water fog, the Pyrolance allows safer, more rapid entry for interior crews. Why continue taking unnecessary risks? Add the Pyrolance to your firefighting arsenal and show the thermal layer who's boss.